Okay, so we're here reviewing how to set up a custom Steam controller layout for Ashes of Creation. What you'll want to do is basically pull up Steam first, and in Steam, you want to go to the Steam menu and go to Settings, and then scroll down to Controller, and then at the very, very bottom, we want to do Desktop Layout. So again, Steam, Settings, Controller, and then under Desktop, you're going to click Edit. Now, if you have your Xbox controller or your other gamepad controller plugged in, it should recognize it and allow you to do it. So if it says no input, then we got to double check, make sure that the controller is being read. But basically, I'm going to do the Xbox controller setup here. When you're in here, you probably have something already here saying Desktop by default. You're going to click on that desktop long bar, and it's going to take you to the community settings, and then we want to go to community layouts. Under community layouts, if you have an Xbox controller, you should be able to just scroll down, and about maybe about a third of the way down, you should see, actually maybe halfway down, you should see Diamond Gaming Ashes of Creation version 2.1 standard controller. Now, if you don't have a controller that is being recognized as an Xbox controller and is being recognized as a generic controller, then you can actually at the bottom right here click on Show All Layouts. And if you click on Show All Layouts, then you'll be able to scroll down and find it. Do me a favor, and if you click on it, you should have the option to upvote it. That thumbs up will actually bump it up the list. So then you're just going to go ahead and click on that, and then click X to apply layout. So that's going to assign the controller settings to the controller. Now I also have created Word document I created where I snapshot the different layouts, so you can kind of use this as a quick reference. It doesn't show everything. We're going to go over playing with the controller in game, but this can be something that you can print out and have as a quick reference to remind you what each button can do. I tried to take the time to label the buttons. Good example here, you can see that the left bumper button is used for the tertiary, the third hotbar, but it's also used to swap your weapons. So you can see it says swap, and so clicking the left button not only allows access to the third hotbar, but it also lets you switch between melee and ranged weapons. So you can download that, have access to it. This next part you have to do in-game. If you're logged into the game, what you're going to want to do is basically open up your game menu and go to Game Options. And then there's a couple of settings that we want to assign that are not assigned by default in the actions. The first thing we want to do is go to Targeting. And then under the Key Bindings Targeting, you want to find the cycle targets. Now, cycle targets should already be set to tab. Just make sure that cycle targets is tab. You want to change target nearest enemy. So where it says target nearest enemy, click on that, and you want to assign it to shift tab. Then you're going to see cycle friendly targets. You're going to want to change that to B. And then nearest target, I believe by default, is shift B. So just make sure that target nearest ally is shift. You'll want to change those four things, make sure they're set like that. Then the other thing you want to do is go to the action bars and scroll all the way down to your action bar 3. The game does not have the action bar 3 programmed to anything by default. So you basically want to go in and assign all of your action bar 3 slots to Alt and the same buttons. So for example, 1 through 6 is the numbers 1 through 6. So you can hold the left Alt or the right Alt, it doesn't matter, but you're going to assign them to 1 through 6. And then 7 and 8 are RT, 9, 10 is VG, 11, 12 is the dash, and the equals on your number bar at the top of your keyboard. So I'll leave this up on the screen here for a second so you can reference this. So again, 1 through 6 are easy. They're just Alt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 are your RTVG dash and equals, but not the dash and equals from the number key. the game actually distinguishes the difference between those. The way that it works here is your primary buttons, A, B, X, Y, or whatever they are on your controller, are your 1, 2, 3, 4. So X is 1, A is 2, B is 3, Y is 4. So you kind of just go around the top. And then if you hold each of those buttons, you actually do your second set of 4. And then it has this extra set here, where if you hold down the right trigger, that actually gives you your third set of hotbars. And the way I keep track of that is basically in the game, I went in and I changed my hub editor, and then I took each of my hotbars and I changed them so that they are 3 rows. And so instead of having one long row across the entire screen, I have 3 rows of 4. And so that actually makes it very easy for me to visualize row 1, row 2, row 3. Then that means that those buttons are 1, 2, 3, 4. If I hold them down, that gives me my 5 through T. And if I hold the right trigger, I can do the second 4. That right there gives me an entire hotbar. Now the way that the controller's designed is if I hold down the left trigger, it takes the entire thing and moves it to the second hotbar. So now, for example, if I want to do intercept and grasp, I can run around, I can find someone, hold down the left trigger and hit Y. And that just did that 4th button on my controller. If I want to do wall, I can hold the left trigger, hold down Y, and that did the second row 4th ability. And so now I'm going to go right outside to some mobs. Now you can see I have on this 3rd bar my mount. If I want to summon my mount is on the 3rd bar. That's actually the left bumper. So if I hold left trigger, it's the second hotbar. If I hold down left bumper, it's the 3rd hotbar. So basically, if I 3rd bumper, hold down Y, I just summon my mount by pushing this ability here. So go ahead and hop on. Hop off, desummon it. I have on my second, oh, too close. No, my right trigger is actually attack. So when I'm running around, I can move and I can basically hold down the right trigger and I'm attacking. But when I'm also holding down the right trigger, I have just unlocked the ability to do all of my abilities on my bottom of my bar. So what I'll tend to do is I just rub my fingers over all 4 buttons and I can just basically do all the abilities on that last row. If I want to be able to cast my shield, then that's just going to be holding down both triggers at the same time and then hitting 3. And oftentimes when I'm playing, I just kind of sit back and reclining the chair. You can play on a casting TV. I know that I actually program my buttons not based on the hotbar, but where they are on my button layout. So for example, as a tank, I have my, get over here, grapple ability. And so I actually set that to my top button so that I know if I'm pushing the top button, it pulls it towards me. I've played with keyboard and mouse, and I've just always found that, being able to quick cast and quick play right there from the controller. Oh, I don't think I'm going to kill this guy. Now, of course, as I mentioned, I'm actually quickly sprinting. If I just click the left joystick, I turn on sprint. If I click it again, I turn off sprint. So I don't have to, that's a lock sprint. I don't have to hold it. And then if I want to sit, double click, sit, rest. If I'm running and I want to auto run, I just hold down the left joystick and I've just turned on auto run. So now I basically don't even have to touch the control anymore. There's a couple of hidden features in here. So if you want to go into PvP flag mode, you actually can hit both the left bumper and the left trigger at the same time, and you just flagged yourself. And then if you do the left bumper and the left trigger at the same time, you deflagged. So it's kind of a quick way to switch. I'm trying to think here. Well, I do have a couple of hidden abilities. So, for example, on my hotbar, this very last spot has a special purpose. If you are a tank and you have a shield, holding the... Oh, I'm glitching. I don't even have my shield items in my hand. I'm going to kill you first. So holding the right bumper is block, but if you double tap the right bumper, you actually cast the last ability on your hotbar. And so I kind of do that as like a quick way that while I'm blocking, if I want to do whatever that ability is, I kind of put a special ability there that, and to me as a tank, shield, you know, this is block and double click is shield bash. Oh yeah, my favorite parts is the D-pad. If we programmed our D-pad target, shift target B and shift B for things, then on my D-pad I can hit the right on the D-pad and it will cycle through all enemies in front of me. If I do right here, it'd be nice if I actually had more than just a few enemies. This area feels kind of barren. But if I hold, there you go, I get the both of you. So if I hit right on the D-pad, I cycle through all the enemies. But if I hold, I'm saying right, I mean left, I'm sorry. But if I hold left on the D-pad, it automatically always targets the closest enemy. So I can switch between them with the D-pad, but if I just hold it, I'm guaranteed whatever's right in front of me. And then finally, right on the D-pad cycles through friendly targets. So if you have a group of people in front of you, you can tap right on the D-pad and it will cycle through all of the friendlies. If you hold right on the D-pad, you will target the closest friendly in front of you. And so it's basically set up the same way. Down on the D-pad is yourself. So if you just hit down on the D-pad, you guarantee targeting you. And if you push up on the D-pad, that's actually a little bit of a hidden feature if you like marking targets. So basically up on the D-pad marks the target with a diamond, and holding up on the D-pad marks the target with a crescent moon. So here I am in the city. I can button mash right on the D-pad, cycle through everybody. If I want to mark someone, up on the D-pad he's got a diamond, hold up, he's got a crescent moon. And so I pretty much, when I'm playing with a group, I constantly keep marking targets and say focus on the diamond, and then I will target the crescent moon as the next thing being attacked. So with those, there's actually a whole other feature of the controller, but I usually save that for after someone starts to get comfortable with playing with the default. So this will let you run around, move your camera, you can auto run, jump, dodge, sprint, sit, cast every single button on your entire hotbar. And one more feature here I forgot, the left bumper. As I mentioned, left bumper swaps weapons, but if you hold the left bumper and then you let go, it's a quick swap. So if you hold it down, you will temporarily swap to your other weapon, and then when you let go, you swap right back. But if you only tap it, it's a permanent swap. So this is kind of a fun thing where I'm in combat. I can hold it, range attack, let go when they get close, and melee attack. And so it's kind of just gets a nice comfortable feel to it. On the Word document I shared, I have an entire other button layout, which I call interact. And so basically, if you hold the select key on the keyboard on the gamepad, you now are in interact mode. And essentially what that does is it turns all of the buttons off for using your hotbar, and instead it's an easy way to interact with your menu. So now the D-pad opens up all of your game windows. So you can basically quickly open up game windows. X allows you to interact with people, so you can run up to someone, hit X, and interact with them. B stands for back. So B is actually the escape key, and so it's a way to back out of something. Y opens up your inventory and your character select. And A is for attack, for like if you need to attack something. And so other than that, the controls are pretty much the same, but this one's just built less for combat and more for interacting. I use this a lot when I'm gathering. I'll run up to a tree and I'll just hit X and I'll start gathering. And then if I get into a combat situation, I need to fight, I just click the select button on the gamepad and I'm right back to attack mode. So holding the select gets you into interact mode, clicking the select button puts you into adventure mode. And so pick your poison. All I can recommend is once you have your gamepad plugged in and you download the controller and you set up the settings in the game settings, run around with it and get a feel for it. I feel like it maybe takes about a week to kind of feel comfortable with everything, but honestly the movement is my favorite part. It's just so smooth to run backwards, look around. I feel like movement was made for joysticks. That's it. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording so I can publish this for others to watch.